Hello and welcome to Divine Alchemy Healing. Again, this is a quick video of myself, Planet Frog, the artist behind the books, and Kelly, the channel writer behind the books, Pendulum workbook and chart set. And today we're going to be doing a quick video talking about how to choose your pendulum and maybe the different types of pendulums. We've just got a few to show you, so I'll act as the beautiful assistant on this occasion while Kelly takes you through what she wants to share with you.
Okay, so when you've started having an interest in pendulum work and you're deciding to choose your first pendulum, now of course you don't have to buy anything, because anything that's slightly weighted that you can either hang on a chain or a string will work perfectly well. But maybe when you've got a little bit further on in your journey and you decide that you would like to start using one of the many types of pendulums that are out there, you can start having a look to see what's available. Now, the first thing I would say is always go with your intuition. Pick what calls to you, whether that's a crystal pendulum, and that's my first one I want to show you. This is actually probably my most well-used pendulum, and it was, it wasn't expensive to buy. I actually got this off Amazon because I don't have any local crystal shops that sell these sort of things nearby. It's got a vintage casing and it's on a short chain, and it's got a lovely little bauble at the end there. I don't know whether you can see that on there, but it's a crystal pendulum that, oh, there we go.
Can you see Kelly's bauble? That's Kelly's bauble.
Yeah, so I use this pendulum for all sorts of things. Now, some people definitely like to use certain pendulums for certain things. I work with clients professionally using the pendulum, and I found out of all of them, this one feels like it's most aligned with doing work that includes both releasing energies and increasing energies. And of course, there's loads of different crystals you can choose from. This one's an amethyst, as I said. I've also got a rose quartz one, and I've got a sodalite one and an obsidian one. But this one I come back to time and time again, and that's purely because it calls to me and it seems to work very well and very powerfully with the work I do. And I think this is one of the most important things to remember is, you don't need to get into all the fancy ins and outs of what all the different pendulum shapes and types do when you're beginning. Go with what feels right for you. So I'm just going to hand that back to my beautiful assistant, Frog. And then I'm going to show you this one, which is I think I would call it a bit more of an advanced pendulum. It's known as an Isis pendulum. And it's metal. This one I think is just silver or stainless steel, but it actually opens up, and it's got a little chamber within it where you can either sprinkle some herbs or you could write something on a piece of paper, and you can program that pendulum for whatever work you want to do. And I'd say maybe this is my more personal one that I use less with clients and more just for my own healing purposes, because I've had kidney health problems in the past. I've got written on the piece of paper kidney health, and I've also got the name of Archangel Metatron on there. You do have to write very small because the chamber is small.
Has that one got a bauble as well?
It has got a bauble on the end. Oh, yeah. And again, it's on a chain. And I know, there is theory out there that talks about you need to have your pendulums hanging from a string. But for me personally, I've never found that to make any real difference. Obviously look into it if that's something you're interested in. Now, it might be because I work with guides that, they'll work with whatever you've got basically. So I've always bought pendulums with a chain, but they're easy to change to a string if you want to. So, But again, this one called to me, and I'd found out a little bit about the Isis pendulum and the shape. And it's certainly a very different pendulum to work with, rather than the crystal pendulums. It's much heavier for starters. But I feel like, this one for me is my personal pendulum. And then I've got a wooden one here, which came from a lovely...
Yeah, this one's got a bauble as well, just in case anybody was wondering.
This one's very light, and it's made of oak. And it came from a lovely small company that's, I think, in Kent in the UK here, where they forage for the wood and then they hand plane them and they put a little crystal on of your choice. So I picked a carnelian for the bauble. But all of them work equally well. And as I say, the main thing to go with, especially, in this day and age where we tend to buy online, if you're very lucky, you've got a crystal shop near you that sells maybe a variety of different pendulums, and you can actually go and hold them and get a sense of them. But if, like me, you're really relying on the pictures, just go with the one that you like the best.
So the size of your pendulum doesn't matter?
No, we're not getting into that.
Just asking a question. What if your pendulum has two baubles?
Well, if it's got two baubles, then you're going to have problems, because the bauble has a purpose, and that is to help you steady it. I always have my thumb just holding the bauble slightly, and then it's just held over my first two fingers, and that feels like a nice... And I always, when I'm working, I'm supporting my elbow on a solid surface so that there's less influence, of you having to move your arm or it juddering around too much. It will make little micro movements because that's where the energy is coming down, and that's how you get the swing. But as a first pendulum, I think, stick with something simple unless you're drawn otherwise. And as I said, you can use something like when I first someone told me about pendulums, but they didn't call them pendulums. They just said, this is a way to connect in with your spirit guides or aliens. And I was 18 at the time, and I had a little necklace on with I think it was an Isis cross, an ankh. And she said, you can use that. So I just used that. And I think whatever feels right for you is always the best way to go. Now, just to say, if you do buy a crystal pendulum, so that's that one, of any sort, there's a couple of crystals that are self-cleansing, like kyanite is self-cleansing, that you don't need to clean. But I think personally I would always clean my crystal pendulums. In fact, I clean all of them. I keep them all on a Metatron's cube charging plate, but you can equally use selenite, or you can use visualization and ask your guides to bring down beautiful white light to cleanse the crystal before you work. Or you can use something like white sage or frankincense. Anything where your intention is that the crystal is being cleansed will work. You could use some incense if you want. A lot of people put them out in the full moon. I don't with amethyst in particular, because sometimes I forget to bring them back in, and then being out in sunlight will fade the stone. But it's a personal choice, and really intention is everything. So if you hold your intention that your pendulum is now being cleansed, and just know that that's happening, it will be cleansed for you. So again, I know a lot of people, sometimes will say on pendulum groups, don't use crystal pendulums. But actually, I think they're really beautiful pendulums to use, and they're adding in the vibrational frequency of the crystal that you've chosen. And as long as you clean them, which is a simple thing, it takes less than 10 seconds really, then you're good to go. So I hope that's been of some help in terms of just how to choose your first pendulum. Go with your heart is the message really. I hope I didn't just thump my microphone there. So there's nothing complicated about it, is how I would sum it up. Anyway, Frog's going to just remind you about our wonderful books that he's made such a beautiful job of making them look really beautiful, and they're still on sale at the moment, aren't they?
Yes, indeed. So we've got the Pendulum Workbook and Chart Set Book 1 there, and we have the Pendulum Workbook and Chart Set Book 2. Both books, beautiful books, and we've had such wonderful feedback from them. People have really enjoyed them. They're chock-a-block, full of
Protocols.
Protocols and affirmations. Well, so what do you call them? Affirmations? Statements. That's right. I didn't write it. I was the illustrator. You see, so I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. But so we've got there's lots of text in there as well. But there are also charts, of course, which we've put at the back of the books, and they are beautiful charts done by myself in calligraphy. I'm sure you won't be able to see that properly. Maybe I'll put one on the back of the screen. But they are spiral bound, so a bit like me, I'm spiral bound. So that makes them really easy to use, and you can just fold them over and access them. It's very deliberate, that.
They're very practical. Everything in there is in full colour, so all your charts, we've got mini charts in there as well. We've got all the protocols for using the different charts, and the advanced book is a follow-on to the original book to take you even deeper. It covers things like past lives, karma, times when we've had negative impacts on other people. There's also some charts for working on your physical body in there. And as Rob said earlier, the feedback has been absolutely amazing, and we'd like to thank everyone actually who's already bought the books.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're available as a book bundle at the moment still, and we're still running our special offer code, which is PEND10. We'll put that on the screen so that you can get an extra 10% off. And then we've got our upcoming courses as well in September, which I think is the 28th and 29th.
We don't have a course book here.
No, we've got a manual that comes with that as well. And that will take you through how we at Divine Alchemy Healing work with pendulums and the therapeutic healing. Do
you have a spare manual
way we
here?
do. Yes, I do, but it's in the other room.
I can go get it.
No, it's all right. Don't worry. There's, if you want to look at the manual, our last video actually covers what we do in the course, and so you can have a look at that video, and it will tell you all about the courses. But let's wrap up for now.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, and hello to our Facebook group members. Big shout out to everybody, really, especially our our mod.
Oh, Suze, yeah.
Suze.
Yeah, she's one of our moderators. Well, she's an admin.
She or he?
He. Oh, God. No, Suze is a he. It's just that I've got a friend, a very close friend, who's also called Suze.
You don't want to get those pronouns mixed up.
Yeah, that's what confuses us every time.
Yeah. Sue might have a pendulum with two baubles. You just don't know.
Suze.
Suze.
Yeah.
Suze. Well, Sue might have a pendulum with two baubles as well. You just don't know these days.
No, but yeah, thank you, Suze, for being such an excellent admin. Suze covers sort of what I call the nighttime shift, because we're in the UK and he's in Australia, isn't he?
Yeah, yes.
So he does all the Facebook requests that we get through for the Pendulum group overnight, and checks there's no spam and all of that sort of stuff. So between the three of us, we work very well as a team, and we really appreciate it. So we're going to wrap up.
Okay, all right. Well, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. If you haven't joined the channel already, really appreciate your feedback. It's lovely to see just the subscribers on our YouTube channel growing slowly but surely, and the same with the Facebook group. Feel free to come and join us at
Dowsing and learning
discussions.
It's something like that. We'll write it for you.
But always lovely to see you, and I think that's about it, really. So pendulums and baubles aside, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for existing. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Kelly and Frog, the masters of the chess, their dreams can lead within these pages. Oh, pendulum. pathways unfurl.